Exploitation Section. Exhibitors Trade Review. April 15th, 1922. This one came from Wellington, New Zealand, which shows they are firm believers in street ballyhoos in that faraway country. The big sign was made from cutouts of posters of Universal's serial The Diamond Queen, and traversed the streets of Wellington for the Paramount and Artcraft theaters. That skeleton was rather gruesome for patrons to pass in order to enter the Travis, Sherman, Texas, to see First National's A Midnight Bell. But evidently, Texans are not superstitious, as the manager reported many of them passed it, at a speedy gait, however. In arranging this display for Metro's Peacock Alley, manager Schnibben of the Opera House, Florence, South Carolina, placed two huge cutouts of Mae Murray on each side of his lobby, then stretched a wire from one cutout to the other, and hung separate letters on it spelling the name of the star and picture. Lights behind threw it in bold relief. It made an excellent display. Taking advantage of an empty building on a prominent corner in Poughkeepsie, New York, manager George Davis of the Stratford filled the windows with large stills of Paramount's Mistress of the World, thereby securing a maximum amount of publicity at a minimum cost. While these two theaters are separated by thousands of miles and the languages spoken by the patrons are different, displays are patterned after ours. On the left is the display of Gaumont Palace, Paris, France, for Fox's Queen of Sheba. On the right, Malheiros and Rio Branco, Brazil, for Universal's The Flaming Disc. Ever hear of Launceston, Tasmania? Well, if you haven't, here is the Majestic's lobby display for Universal's The Rage of Paris, which shows that exploitation has spread all over the civilized world, and we must say it is artistic in every sense of the word. During Go-To Theater Week in Seattle, they staged a magnificent parade, and this is the float for First National's Polly of the Follies. A close look at the picture will quickly tell the reason why menfolks of Seattle never care to migrate to another town. Manager Kobe has this unique display for Universal's Leather Pushers in the lobby of the Central, New York. Using the name as an arch over the cutout of the star standing between two pillars, manager Cobb of the Alamo, Griffith, Georgia, made a very attractive lobby display for Paramount's Her Husband's Trademark. This float for First National's Hail the Woman was also in Seattle's Go-To Theater Week parade, and is another reason why men don't leave Seattle. Go-To Theater Week was one of the biggest exploitation stunts that has been pulled in the history of motion pictures. This big banner over the entrance to Asher's Merrill, Milwaukee, for Goldwyn's Come On Over, had a punch in it that attracted wide attention. A baby spotlight connected to a flasher was placed in the torch of the Statue of Liberty and acted as a beacon to guide patrons to the entrance. The Haymarket, Sydney, Australia, arranged this lobby display for First National's The Sign on the Door. It would be a curiosity getter even in this country, where every conceivable and some inconceivable things have been done in the way of exploitation. Only one objection: the still is not working. If it had been, there is no telling how many thirsty patrons this display, arranged by Manager Hill, would have drawn into the arcade, Jacksonville, Florida, to see Paramount's A Game Chicken. On the opening of Universal's serial With Stanley in Africa, Manager Schaefer of the Parthenon, Brooklyn, borrowed some stuffed animals from a taxidermist and placed them with a jungle setting in his lobby. It made a very effective tie-up with the picture. Numerous stills, some cutouts, and a few scenes of Coney Island were dumped in a mill by Manager Gersdorf of the Rialto, Macon, Georgia, and this lobby ground out, which to some extent was responsible for the successful run of Paramount's Saturday Night. Another view of Schaefer's lobby. The big elephant is not stuffed, but is a cutout from a 24 sheet. The man standing next to him is genuine, and worked the streets in the vicinity of the Parthenon as a ballyhoo during the run of the serial. Ballyhoo and lobby both attracted a great deal of attention. A one-sheet poster of First National's The Sky Pilot showing one of the scenes of that picture gave Manager Shoup of the Mall, Sydney, Ohio, the idea for this ballyhoo, which went a long way toward helping to put this picture over to big business. Striking out for something that would make the residents of Savannah, Georgia sit up and take notice that he was playing United Artists' Dream Street, Manager Strozier of the Odeon hit upon this effective ballyhoo with a result that was highly satisfactory. Eastland, Texas is not one of the big towns in Texas, but Manager Stallcup of the Princess is a big town exploiteer to judge from this lobby display for Universal's The Conflict. It was made by the boy who posts bills. The two trees are live oaks, which he brought from the creek a mile and a half from the theater. Good work.